All right, let's jump straight into this explainer with one really extreme number, 20. That represents 20 whole days without a single bite of solid food, just water. I know, it sounds impossible, maybe even a little dangerous, right? But the human body is capable of some truly extraordinary adaptation.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down a creator's completely wild, self-documented journey of surviving purely on water. We're going to look strictly at the biology, the physical symptoms, and the intense mental hurdles that happen when you completely shut off your body's food supply for almost 3 weeks.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be covering why fast for 20 days, who must avoid water fasting, days 1 to 2, which are the struggle, days 3 to 7, entering ketosis, days 8 to 20, which is the fasting high, and finally, breaking the fast safely.
Section 1. Why fast for 20 days? The purported benefits.
So why on earth would anyone willingly put themselves through this level of deprivation? Well, it really all comes down to cellular fuel. Normally, your body absolutely loves carbohydrates. It's the easiest, most accessible energy to grab. But when you completely cut off that food supply, your body is forced into a corner. It has to adapt by turning to its storage fats. And for the creator, this forced shift led to dropping about 1 pound of fat every single day. It's literally a rapid, short-term weight loss mechanism.
But it wasn't just about weight loss. The creator was pulled in by these massive, wide-ranging health claims. We're talking dropping stress levels, lowering blood pressure, and actually fixing severe digestion issues like gastritis and irritable bowel. I mean, the promise of faster healing and decreased systemic inflammation, it was just too intriguing for them to pass up.
Section 2. Who must avoid water fasting? Strict medical exclusions.
Okay, before we even look at day 1, we have to set up some strict guardrails. Fasting is a massive physiological stressor, so people with eating disorders, pregnant or breastfeeding women, anyone who is already underweight, and folks dealing with serious heart problems, type 1 diabetes, or uncontrolled migraines, you are strictly advised against this. No exceptions. But because the creator didn't fall into any of these high-risk categories, they completely bypassed the standard recommendation of 5 to 14 days and went for a massive 20-day goal.
The whole experiment actually mapped out into this really fascinating chronological arc, because the journey isn't just a straight line, it's more like a series of distinct physical and mental eras that your body cycles through as it adapts to zero food.
Which brings us to Section 3, days 1 to 2, the struggle, hunger, and irritation.
Those first 48 hours were easily the most jarring part of the entire ordeal. The physical and psychological shock just hits you immediately. The creator talked about feeling incredibly hungry, like they had missed several breakfasts, lunches, and dinners all at once. They were increasingly irritated, and their patience was wearing paper thin as their body was just screaming for its usual carb fuel.
But internally, right beneath that horrible mood, a really profound cleansing process had already kicked off. The biology was working in overdrive to protect the heart and conserve vital energy. Basically, the body officially enters a battery save mode. It deliberately slows down, making the metabolic rate way more efficient to ensure survival.
Section 4, days 3 to 7, entering ketosis, the biological shift.
Right around day 3, the body realizes the food isn't coming back, and that triggers an ancient survival mechanism, ketosis. See, when your regular diet provides starches and sugars, your body runs on glucose. But when that glucose is entirely depleted, the body flips a metabolic switch and gets down to burning its own stored fat as its one and only energy source. And this exact process is exactly why the creator's unbearable, gnawing hunger suddenly vanished completely.
Biologically, this happens in stages. First, the intake of standard fuel drops to absolute zero. Next, the body hunts for an alternative and locks right onto your fat stores. And finally, it breaks that fat down into glycerol and fatty acids just to keep your organs running. It's this step-by-step breakdown that kicked off the highly visible, rapid weight loss phase of the experiment. Now, this biological shift brought a really mixed bag of subjective experiences. On the plus side, the intense hunger stopped on a dime, and they actually felt way more energetic and less tired. But on the flip side, they got hit with some pretty rough physical discomforts. We're talking bad headaches, really weird sleep patterns, and these sudden bouts of lightheadedness whenever they stood up too fast. So definitely a turbulent time for the body. But something amazing was happening as a byproduct. A really fascinating side effect of this fat-burning stage is a deep detoxifying effect. Did you know the human body actually uses its own fat to safely store away harmful toxins and toxic metals? It tucks them away in the fat to protect your vital organs. So as all this fat is rapidly burned off during ketosis, those stored toxins are finally released and flushed entirely out of the body.
Section 5. Days 8 to 20, fasting high. Clarity and resilience.
By week 2, the suffering just faded away, and the creator experienced an absolute turnaround. They reported feeling happy, incredibly energetic, and finding this profound clarity of mind. The stress of the fast had literally transitioned into a good stress, a state that felt like it was actively strengthening their immune system and building up resilience.
It wasn't totally without its quirks, though. Even though their digestion improved immensely, because, absolutely zero new food toxins were entering the system, the physiological changes did have other effects. Specifically, their blood pressure dropped pretty significantly below normal, and that lower blood pressure left them dealing with this constant, lingering sensation of just feeling chilled and cold most of the time.
But what is probably most astonishing is what happened during the final stretch, days 15 through 20. Defying all those internet blogs that aggressively tell you to take time off work and rest in bed, the creators stayed immensely active. They maintained a completely normal life. They commuted by train, worked full 10-hour days, and didn't even drop their gym routine. They did light cardio to protect the heart, and incredibly, even lifted weights without feeling noticeably weaker. All while, of course, staying highly attentive to their body, ready to pull the plug if anything felt wrong.
Section 6. Breaking the fast safely. The crucial descent.
Hitting day 21 meant the massive experiment was officially over. But breaking a fast of this magnitude, it's a highly delicate biological procedure. You absolutely cannot just sit down and eat a huge meal after 3 weeks of starvation. Doing that could literally shock your system. Instead, the creators started gently, first drinking fruit juices mixed into broth, then slowly transitioning to very soft cooked veggies. It's this careful, methodical process to wake your completely dormant digestive tract back up to the reality of solid food.
So what was the final verdict after the whole refeeding process was complete? Ultimately, the creator reported a massive success. They claimed to feel at their absolute best after the fast concluded. They achieved that noticeable weight loss they expected, recorded fantastic, impressive vital signs, and noted this profound sense of wellness where some previous health abnormalities just weren't a concern anymore.
While the results from our source material are undeniably fascinating, we really have to emphasize that an undertaking like this requires serious medical supervision. You absolutely must consult a doctor first. But it does show that the human body is capable of incredible feats of survival and regeneration. So, what do you take away from this intense biological journey? Knowing everything you know now, are you brave enough to ever try a fast?